Welcome to the Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Hany Rambod, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Fairness Tavakoli.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks. We had the Olympia, and now we have let the dust settle a little bit, getting ready to go to Dubai for the Dubai Muscle. That I'm definitely looking forward to. Unfortunately, you guys can't go because it's not during Thanksgiving. I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year was our break for Thanksgiving, but this year Cam has school, so I'll be here. You'll be there.
And then I will be coming back, and then we have just a little bit left in the year. And I think that we were going to originally do a podcast about the Olympia and everything. We still are. I mean, we have Sid and Sebum who have retired this year, and Sid, amazing, congratulations to her.
Yes.
And her coach, 8-time Olympia winning figure competitor.
Yep.
Sid has just absolutely done an amazing job. She's going to leave a very big void in figure.
Absolutely. I mean, she's now the standard, and she's had an amazing career, and she's just a lovely person to boot, and I'm very excited to see what she's going to do in the future,
Yeah, well, I think she wants to do more influencing, she said. We got her to be able to add in a lot more of herself and show a lot more of her personal emotions instead of it just being so, prim and proper.
Correct.
And I feel like it was really good because she's been able to connect even to a wider audience. And then we have the GOAT, 6-time Olympia winner, Chris Bumstead. He originally was talking about retiring last year.
Yes, I remember in the room he told us he was going to retire.
Yeah, and he was going to be done. And then obviously things had changed because it prompted him to understand why. And then he said, you know what, it's not the right time. And then he said, let's talk. It was a fairy tale ending.
Absolutely.
When he went up on stage and he won the show, but then ended up right there.
Yeah, there was no dry eyes in the room. I think everyone was crying. And his speech was phenomenal, and he's had such a great career and such a class act, so.
Yeah, and now he's going to be able to focus on his family. And when we were getting ready for the show as we got closer, one of the things that I do want to share with the audience is I had talked about me possibly bowing out at the end of this prep.
Correct.
And finishing up this year.
Yep.
And you and I talked about it.
Yep.
And for those of you that are asking why, I'm going to be 50 in January. I've been doing this my whole entire adult life.
Yep.
And I started Evogen 17 years ago. And obviously the FST7 app, and then also working very diligently this last year on my coaching platform that's basically The Truth. It's called The Truth. I mentioned it for the first time actually when Jay Cutler's podcast. So by the time you listen to this, you probably, or if you haven't listened to it, it was like a 2.5-hour podcast with Jay and manager Matt. And it's something that I wanted to do to be able to give back to the community and be able to continue to push content. But I wanted to also create a platform where I create accessibility, because I only work with 3 people a year, and it's been like this for many, many years, as you know.
Yep.
And so I really felt like I'm maxed out. And I have so many different things going around the world, Evogen being now in 75 countries, formulating here, putting things together on the marketing, putting it on the content, taking care of the athletes as a sponsor, but also as a coach, and then doing all of these things. I feel like it's just become overwhelming. And the biggest thing that it's taken away from my life is time with you and time with Cameron.
Yep.
And seeing Cameron get so excited when I get involved now with flag football and with all of the things that he does and he loves to do, I just felt like when you really look at it, he's 11 years old. We got to see him backstage with JM and Freddie and all of the guys backstage, Mr. Jim Mannion, Dan Solomon, Tyler.
Yeah.
He's got pictures with all of them, and he was doing interviews backstage, and he's grown up so fast. And I literally am thinking to myself, where has the time gone?
Yep.
Where has the time gone? And all I did was all these years keep piling on more and more things. And I never really, as they say, trim the hedges to be able to grow within reason.
Yes.
And, between my family and myself, I've not been able to get my workouts in because of stress, because of time, because of all the things that I do.
Yeah.
And as anybody knows, trying to run a company, trying to manage departments while coaching, while doing all of these things, while creating other companies, other divisions. We also have a store that we manage remotely.
Correct.
And we also have many, many other endeavors that we've been working on. And I just sit down and I struggle to say, how am I going to continue to do this? Because all it does is takes away. And Cameron's got maybe 4 or 5 years left where he wants to hang out with his dad.
Yep. Or his mom.
Or his mom, because
Yeah.
they want to eventually become teenagers and they're going to want to be with their friends.
Correct.
And anybody who's a parent out there that knows that. And so that's why I've been considering taking leave
Yeah.
from this. Again, we were talking about like how permanent is this? Don't know. I just know that right now it's just become so overwhelming with everything else that I'm doing and launching the new truth system and doing that and, you know, hiring people for that and that whole division that I'm working on, and which is just like starting another Evogen.
Correct. It's another company, you know.
It's a whole nother company.
Yep.
And being able to do that and making myself accessible, the stress of it all has come to head for me.
Yeah. I mean, you've done it for so long, like you said, your whole adult life. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how time consuming it is, how much you put in each athlete. Yes, there's only 3, but the time that you spend, it might as well be 100, you know, and it does take attention away from other things. It takes attention, obviously, away from your family. It takes attention away from yourself and what you got to do. It takes attention away from Evogen. It takes attention away from other things that you're working on, and being accessible to so many other people with the platform that you've created. So exciting. I can't wait for people to actually see that and be a part of it. I think you have amazing things in store for you. And I know that, you know, it's a huge decision. We've been talking about it for a while. You are turning 50, so things are at a turning point for sure. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we always say in this industry, for you to survive, you got to be able to put on the oxygen mask yourself first.
Correct.
Before you be able to help everybody else. And I've been breathing oxygen from a straw for a long time.
Yep.
And taking care of my personal health is also something that has gone a little bit without attention.
Yes.
And, you know, not eating, then eating, you know, one large meal a day, everything you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, not sleeping.
That's right.
You know.
Sleep is the biggest thing. 'Cause my sleep has been, just for those that are listening, I've probably averaged, how many hours of sleep do I sleep?
Maybe 3, 4
a
night.
Yeah. And it's probably the absolute one of the worst things you can do. Your body doesn't reset at all. And sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night on average for the last 20 years has done a number on me.
Yeah.
It's not good for my health. It's not good for my blood work. It's not good for any of those things.
No.
And we've been talking about it, like I said, for a while. And I've been saying, you know, once this show is over, it's time for me to evolve.
Yeah.
And be able to do these, because I can't keep doing all the other things that I was doing
Correct.
while I'm going to be launching this other platform.
Absolutely.
And this coaching platform means a lot to me because it gives more attention than to so many more people, and bringing in coaches that are going to be working with me, and then being able to share the knowledge and being able to continue to do what I'm doing, even at a higher level, because I'm not going to have the stress of these preps.
Absolutely. I mean, when you are prepping for the Olympia, literally everything else shuts down. I've been with you now for 17 years and been to 17 Olympias, and everything else while you're prepping these guys gets put on the back burner. So I completely understand, you know, where you want to evolve and where you want to direct your attention now is something greater, something bigger. You know, I mean, you've achieved so much. You have 25 Olympia titles, you know, so it's been amazing to watch that and what you've done in this industry. And now your accessibility with coaching coaches and coaching different people. You get asked on a daily basis. I'm with you. I know how many people want to work with you, how many DMs you get. And this is so exciting that this platform is going to be available to the masses.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot more information regarding it. But what it is just the fact that, number one, I just know that I have to stop doing everything.
Correct.
And I have been working, again, on borrowed time. And I feel like I've definitely suffered a lot, and I felt like my family has. And I've been coaching Cameron and his team this last couple of months.
By the way, he's just so excited. He literally, after Saturday's game, he scored 3 touchdowns. They won their game. He was super stoked. And he had Daddy on the sidelines coaching him along with another coach and, another one of the dads. And he asked you and he said, Dad, can you continue to coach me next season too? He's so excited because you haven't been able to do this stuff for him, And now he's at an age where he remembers and he really wants his dad around because he's a boy and you're his idol, So, yeah, it's really cool. I know it's a hard decision, and we've been talking about it for a long time. Honestly, this year was one of the first years where I, as your wife and hearing you, and you've, turned down a lot of other things, not just, this decision, but turned down a lot of other things because you were putting your family first. You were trying to put your health first. And it was the first time I turned around and told you, I'm happy that you're doing that because it's, as your wife, there's nothing more that I want than you putting A, yourself first, and B, us first, especially Cameron.
Well, obviously, like I said, I've been doing this my whole adult life, right?
Yep. And we're super proud of you.
Thank you. I love helping people get to their goals. I love people getting to their dream of trying to be the best in the world at what they do.
Yep.
And it's something I'm very, very proud of. But like I said, when it gets to the point where it's affecting my family, it's just getting too much. And
yes.
I think that I'm not going to stop training people. So coming into the gym and doing all of those things, built this beautiful gym here, and doing even more with some of the people that I'm working with Panada and all the other partners that I have that, going out there and doing these events. I think it's just when people really think about it, it's the stress of these preps, of these high level preps.
Yeah.
Is what it is to try to continuously try to be the best in the world is one of those things where if you're trying to do what I do, there's a reason why I only have a handful of people I do it with, because it's not something I can be able to scale.
No.
It's a formula that I literally take on the burden of their emotional feeling and their emotional, energy.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult to not do that and to separate.
Yeah.
And so for me, talked a lot about it with C-Bum as he was winding down for the prep, and it's just he's very articulate, and he does such a great job of being able to put emotions into words.
Correct.
And I feel like it's just not closing a door but opening another.
Absolutely.
And several others.
Yeah.
And again, moving here has been such a blessing. And I feel like everything has happened for a reason. And I feel like this is just something where I can be able to give back to the bodybuilding community even more.
Yeah, at a larger scale.
In a larger scale with
Correct.
information. And there's a lot of other things that we're going to be announcing, we're going to be doing, and just trying to, have fun again.
Yeah, have fun. That again. Definitely.
Yeah, so at the end, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Had a great run. Been talking about this off and on for many years, even when I was coaching Phil back in the day, of when I'm going to stop.
Yep.
And, I had a great career.
Yep.
And I'm so thankful to everyone out there who supported me, the athletes, the company, the bodybuilding industry, And I can't wait to do more.
Yeah.
And be able to feel like there's going to be an absolute anchor off of my back, you know, that weight that's been lifted so that I can be able to really focus, because there's always the next show. And now I feel like I can take a deep breath and feel like there's so much more to go.
Absolutely.
So again, I want to thank Jim Mannion, Tyler Mannion, the whole Mannion family, Debbie. You know what I'm talking about. Debbie's been instrumental in talking about this, actually, and especially with creating my larger platform.
Oh yeah,
she's been
pushing you. Yeah, she's been pushing you, and your number one supporter.
Yeah, JM, just everybody up in Pittsburgh has been amazing, and I feel like if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be around here doing this. And for anybody that I've been able to help, I hope I've been able to help with any information you've been listening to, whether it's the podcast, whether it's my YouTube, whether it's any of the platforms that I've been investing in. I'm looking forward to doing more.
Absolutely.
And so I just want to say thank you, and thank you to all the athletes that I've been able to work with. So there's been so many of them. So great memories with Phil and Jay, and just, you know, even Jeremy, as much as that, you know, there was a lot of really, really good times with all of the athletes. And, you know, it's been a fantastic ride.
Yep.
But now it's time to evolve and take it to the next level.
Yep. And continue to grow.
Yep. And at the same time, if you got good tips on how to be a good flag football coach, then let me know, because I will be coaching. It's going to be my son's flag football team. And if you are interested in working with my coaches that I'm going to be coaching, and here in our Irving facility, that you can go to hanyrambod.com. Again, I don't even know how long I'm going to do that, but for the time being, this is something I've been working on, so I am going to go ahead and focus on that for the time being. But I just want to say thank you all for all of the support, and I love you. Thank you, my love, for being there.
Of course.
And next time we got to bring Cameron on here. He did a pretty good job. If you haven't seen his interviews backstage with C-Bomb and some of the others, you go check out the NPC YouTube page, the NPC News Online. But again, Hany Rambod, Fairness Tavakoli, that's the truth.